Hey there, viewers. Welcome to the channel where we dive deep into the shadows of the mind. Today, we're peeling back the layers of deception to expose the twisted world of brainwashing tactics. Ever felt like your thoughts aren't your own? That's because there are forces out there working to control them, to bend them to their will. In this video, we're going to shine a light on indoctrination and thought control techniques, revealing how they're used to manipulate minds and mold beliefs. Think about it, from cult leaders to political regimes, they all use similar tricks to keep people under their spell. We're talking about things like gaslighting, where they make you doubt your own sanity, or love bombing, where they shower you with affection to reel you in. But it's not just about the big players. Even in everyday life, you might encounter subtle forms of manipulation that chip away at your freedom and autonomy. We'll explore examples from advertising, social media, and personal relationships, showing you how to spot the signs and protect yourself. So buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride into the murky depths of the human psyche. Let's uncover the truth behind the lies, shall we? Brainwashing tactics. Indoctrination and thought control techniques revealed. What is brainwashing? First of all, let us understand what is brainwashing. Brainwashing, often referred to as coercive persuasion or thought reform, is a process by which an individual's beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors are altered through systematic manipulation and control tactics. It typically involves a combination of psychological techniques aimed at breaking down an individual's sense of identity, autonomy, and critical thinking skills, while instilling new beliefs and behaviors that align with the goals of the person or group conducting the brainwashing. First off, the brainwasher targets people who are vulnerable, like those feeling lost or isolated. Then, they start bombarding them with all sorts of messages. Messages that slowly chip away at their sense of self and make them doubt everything they once believed. It's like being stuck in a room with only one song playing over and over again until it's all you can hear. But it gets worse. They mess with your head, messing up your sleep, bombarding you with so much information that your brain feels like it's on overload, and using rewards or punishments to make you toe the line. It's like being in a funhouse with mirrors that distort your reflection until you don't even recognize yourself anymore. And before you know it, you're not thinking for yourself anymore. You're just regurgitating whatever they've fed you, like a puppet on strings. It's scary because it happens in all sorts of places. Religious groups, political movements, even relationships. It's like a virus that spreads, infecting everything it touches. Overall, brainwashing represents a complex and multifaceted phenomenon that underscores the power of psychological manipulation to influence individuals' thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors in profound ways, often with far-reaching consequences for both the individuals themselves and society at large. Process of brainwashing. The process of brainwashing typically unfolds in several stages, each designed to break down the target's resistance and instill new beliefs and behaviors. These stages may include isolation. The target is isolated from external influences, such as friends, family, and other sources of support. This isolation makes the individual more vulnerable to manipulation and less likely to question the manipulator's teachings. Indoctrination. The target is exposed to the manipulator's ideology, beliefs, and worldview through repeated exposure and reinforcement. This may involve lectures, group discussions, literature, or other forms of propaganda designed to instill the desired beliefs and values. Manipulation. The target is subjected to various forms of psychological manipulation, such as gaslighting, love bombing, and fear-mongering, to control their thoughts, emotions, and behavior. These tactics are intended to create dependency, undermine critical thinking, and foster unquestioning loyalty to the manipulator or group. Reeducation. The target undergoes a process of reeducation, in which their existing beliefs and values are systematically challenged and replaced with those of the manipulator. This may involve the use of persuasive arguments, emotional appeals, and social pressure to induce a change in mindset. Conformity. The target is encouraged to conform to the beliefs and norms of the manipulator or group, often through peer pressure, social ostracism, or the promise of acceptance and belonging. Nonconformity is typically met with punishment or rejection, further reinforcing the desired behavior. Control. Finally, the target is brought under the complete control of the manipulator or group, with their thoughts, beliefs, and actions firmly aligned with the agenda of the manipulator. This may involve the use of rewards and punishments to reinforce compliance and discourage dissent. Overall, brainwashing is a complex and often insidious process that can have profound effects on the target's psyche and sense of identity. It is typically employed by authoritarian regimes, cults, and other groups seeking to exert control over individuals and suppress dissent. Recognizing the signs of brainwashing and understanding its underlying mechanisms is essential for safeguarding against manipulation and maintaining autonomy and critical thinking skills. Brainwashing in action. Examples from history. Throughout history, there have been several notorious examples of brainwashing, where individuals or groups have used manipulation tactics to control minds and shape beliefs. Let's look into 3 striking examples. 1. Cult of personality. Adolf Hitler and Nazi propaganda. In the 1930s and 1940s, Adolf Hitler rose to power in Germany, harnessing the power of propaganda to manipulate the masses. Through relentless repetition of nationalist slogans and symbols, Hitler and his regime instilled a sense of loyalty and obedience among the German people. Dissenting views were suppressed through fear and intimidation, while those who embraced the Nazi ideology were rewarded with status and privilege. Hitler Youth organizations were established to recruit and train young Germans, instilling in them the values of obedience, loyalty to the Führer, and belief in the superiority of the Aryan race. Schools were transformed into centers for indoctrination, where textbooks were rewritten to promote Nazi ideals, and teachers were required to pledge allegiance to Hitler. Children were encouraged to inform on their families if they expressed dissenting views, fostering an environment of surveillance and control. By controlling the information available to the youth and manipulating their sense of identity and belonging, the Nazi regime successfully brainwashed a generation of Germans into supporting their genocidal agenda. Techniques used: propaganda, repetition, manipulation of rewards and punishments. 2. The Jonestown Massacre. Jim Jones and the People's Temple. In the 1970s, the charismatic leader Jim Jones led the People's Temple, a religious movement that devolved into a cult of personality. Jones isolated his followers from the outside world, creating a closed community where dissent was not tolerated. Through his persuasive rhetoric and promises of a utopian society, Jones gained unwavering loyalty from his followers. However, behind the facade of paradise lay a nightmarish reality. In 1978, over 900 members of the People's Temple died in a mass suicide at Jonestown, Guyana, under Jones's orders. Through fear tactics and manipulation, he compelled his followers to drink cyanide-laced flavor aid, resulting in the tragic Jonestown Massacre. The tragedy of Jonestown serves as a chilling reminder of the destructive power of brainwashing within cult-like organizations. Techniques used: isolation, charismatic leadership, manipulation of rewards and punishments. 3. Modern-day social media. Manipulation. In the present day, we see brainwashing tactics being employed in the digital realm, particularly through social media platforms. Companies like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube utilize algorithms that are designed to prioritize content that engages users, often leading to the creation of echo chambers, where individuals are only exposed to information that reinforces their existing beliefs. This algorithmic bias can lead to the spread of misinformation, propaganda, and extremist ideologies, as users are bombarded with content that caters to their biases and preferences. Additionally, social media platforms have been used by authoritarian regimes and malicious actors to manipulate public opinion, spread disinformation, and silence dissenting voices. By exploiting the addictive nature of social media and the power of targeted messaging, these actors can effectively brainwash individuals on a massive scale, shaping their beliefs and behaviors without their awareness. In summary, throughout history and into the present day, brainwashing techniques have been used to control minds and shape beliefs in various contexts, from cults and political propaganda to the digital realm of social media. These examples underscore the enduring power of manipulation tactics to influence individuals and societies on a profound level. Techniques used: algorithmic manipulation, echo chambers, manipulation of rewards and punishments. Conclusion. In conclusion, the exploration of brainwashing tactics reveals the insidious nature of manipulation and control. Through isolation, indoctrination, manipulation, reeducation, conformity, and control, individuals can be systematically coerced into adopting beliefs and behaviors that serve the agenda of manipulators. Whether employed by authoritarian regimes, cults, or other groups seeking power, brainwashing can have profound effects on the psyche and sense of identity of the targets. However, awareness and understanding of these techniques are essential tools for safeguarding against manipulation and preserving autonomy and critical thinking skills. By recognizing the signs of brainwashing and educating ourselves about its underlying mechanisms, we empower ourselves to resist manipulation and maintain our individuality and freedom of thought. Hope you learned something from the video. See you in the next one.